A lot's happened, really. I mean, definitely noticed people going off in groups together and all that. And then there was kind of a group idol hunt earlier, so that was definitely interesting. It was kind of like people were wanting to look for it, and then finally everyone was just sort of like, we're going. And then actually we were just standing around camp getting some firewood, and Brendan comes up to me and he's like, the idol's in the sawdust bag. And I was like, I don't know if it'd be in there, but whatever. And I was like, so I had a dream the night before that I found an idol. So I'm like, well, I'm going to be the one that grabs out of the bag, so it's mine. So me and Rachel made sure nobody was looking, open the bag, grab it, walk off with it. And I knew as soon as I felt the bag that it wasn't the idol, and it just turned out to be an apple and an orange. So that was disappointing, but I mean, at least we got some food. But I think Brendan found the idol during the little group hunt. He had me, David, Rachel, and Bobby were all looking, and then I went back sort of like be with Christine and Bruce and sort of chat with them, build my relationship with them. And then when Brendan came back, I was talking to Bruce, and Brendan like gave me this look like I got it. And right before I came up here, I noticed in his pocket he had a little bulge that he didn't have earlier. So I'm thinking he got it. And I asked Bobby if they had found it, and Bobby was like, no. He's like, not that I know of. So I definitely want to talk to Brendan and see if he got it for sure or not, because he told me earlier that everybody needs their guy and that I'm his guy. So I'm gonna see if he'll tell me if he got it or not. Well, I mean, just from a guy's perspective, there was a couple blondes I was like, wouldn't mind having them around. Okay. But I mean, last night, me, Jen, and Rachel, I was on the end, and it was Rachel and then Jen, and my arm was both of their pillows. And me and Rachel just cuddled all night, and then Jen just used my hand as her pillow. I just want to meet all of them. You know, I want to build relationships with everybody. You got to keep all your options open in the game. Okay. So I'm just really looking forward to meeting all the other people. So the first challenge we did yesterday, we noticed the challenge that was set up in the water right behind it looks like a shooting challenge. I love basketball, play basketball all the time. I actually play every Thursday. Today's Thursday, so I should be playing basketball right about now. So I'm hoping that's coming up. Me and Rachel have already sort of said that we're the basketball players, we'll do the ones shooting. So definitely hoping for something like that. As long as you don't give me no slide puzzles, I'm good. I'll leave the slide puzzles to somebody else. It's been fun so far. It's been great. Obviously the first night's always the longest, just sort of getting used to sleeping in the woods and stuff, but it wasn't too cold, wasn't too hot with everybody in the shelter, and managed to get some sleep, so I can't complain there.
So the last 12 hours have actually been very lots happened. So I didn't sleep at all. Okay. We went to bed, so after last night's confessionals, Bruce was up late, and I'm 95% sure that he found an idol. And I say that because he was up for a while, Christine was up with him. He didn't say a word, Christine went to bed, and then you just start hearing the thing going. And so I just, you know, kind of like peek my eyes and try to look over, and I saw him go, I believe I saw him go like this. So I'm, you know, stick something in his shorts, and immediately after that he went to bed. So this morning, or last night, I felt like I didn't do enough talking with other people. So this morning I made sure to really get into that. That's kind of like one of the reasons why I stayed up. I was like, oh man, I should have done this, I should have done this. And so really got into a good, I feel like, group this morning. So feeling confident about that. So the 5 is me, Rachel, Brendan, David, and Austin. So that's the 5. I feel really good with David, and I kind of worry about Rachel, Brendan, and Austin having a tighter thing. Me and Rachel kind of have like somewhat of a thing, and then so I really just want to get close to David. I feel like that way I can at least have that side of the alliance tight. So so for Bruce, I mean, great guy, yeah, fantastic guy, but he definitely removed himself from the group a little bit. Just felt like he was a little bit away from the group, and I feel like most people noticed it. Plus, just he is a big talker, so we kind of worry about that being a liability in terms of, you know, saying something to somebody when he shouldn't. Okay. The other two, I mean, again, everybody on our tribe's great. If we weren't voting anybody out, right, grade 8. But I don't know, I feel like just didn't gel with us as much as that 5. So I think we're gonna be Zica strong. Okay. I think we'll be Zica strong all day. Well, I mean, just going off the pass, right? But I guess you wouldn't ask me if you thought that there was gonna be something else going on. So yeah, I think we'll be together all day, and what happens after that, honestly, my biggest thing was saying to them, like, if we swap, stay Zica strong. Yeah, as much as that's a cliche thing in actual Survivor, I think we can really do it. So I'm gonna be good at challenges that are athletic based. So any of the, you know, balance beam or up and down or holding the ball, swimming in general, not the basketball. I know I'm not good at that. Okay. And then puzzles, I'm fairly good at puzzles overall. I think Christine might actually be our strongest puzzle person. So, idols.
Yeah.
So,
what's going on with that?
Yeah. So, I touched on Bruce's idol. So, I don't know if there was something else. So the 5 of us kind of did a group idol search, which we just wanted to make sure that those 3 didn't have an idol versus whoever in that 5 had the idol. So we kind of did that group thing. Obviously it makes it look like we're a 5 strong, but before we did that, we did say, okay, you know, we should look for an idol. If we do a swap, we just want to make sure that whoever ends up with it can stay Zica strong. So we just went down to the water that's kind of behind us and did some good searching. And the main reason for that was there was this like perfect hole that would be perfect for an idol. So I went down there, and like every time I'd go down there, because it's where all our firewood is, somebody would just come and maybe, you know, I don't think they were keeping an eye on me, but you know. So eventually I was just like, it was the 5 of us, so I was like, okay, let's just look. So, you know, I looked through the hole, there was nothing there. Not to say that there wasn't at some point, but there was nothing there when I looked. Okay. And then the sawdust bag, I don't know if anybody's touched on that, an apple and an orange. So everybody thought that there was an idol in there or something, right? Anybody that reached into the sawdust to put some sawdust in the fire saw or felt something. So Brendan came up to me and told me, which obviously was a good show of faith for him to me. And then I know for a fact Bruce knew something was in there, because when Brendan was getting sawdust out, he was keeping a very close eye on him, and like he tipped the sawdust, like I think he was trying to snag it, and the second that he knew that he couldn't, he pulled it back up, and Bruce like did a loop around to sit down. And then eventually we're just like, you know what, it's better if all of us have it than Bruce. Like, it's better for it to just be open in the air. And so Austin went and grabbed it, goes off to the side, and then comes back. He's like, it's just an apple and an orange. Like, all right, well, put it back in the bag. We'll make a surprise and just pretend like, oh, look what I just randomly found. There's an apple and an orange here. So,
that's I'm sure you've heard that. It's been a common phrase around our camp. Okay. Yeah. So last night was good. We got a fire started when we didn't have that to begin with. We got 2 tarps. We set up camp pretty quick. Yeah, it was overall pretty good. I did feel kind of bad for Bruce because he kind of got squeezed out of the shelter. He was just kind of like sleeping on the grass, so that did suck. For him, obviously, not for me. I was fine. I had a great night's sleep. But other than that, yeah, it was a good night. It was, Bobby found, or he like woke up and saw Bruce, you know, like kind of tending to the fire, but also kind of like looking through our box. And he said that he, you know, kind of put his buff down, he squinted his eyes and was, you know, trying to see what he was doing. And he said he saw him pull a bag out of the sawdust. So instantly my alarm bells are going off, and I'm, you know, trying to figure out what the hell to do. So everybody who either knows or has seen him do this is now instantly thinking idol. So there was like a big ass scramble, and nobody wanted to leave anybody alone. And eventually we got it was me, it was Rachel, it was Bobby, it was Austin, and we haven't exactly filled in David yet, but we do kind of feel good with David. And we kind of roped the other 3 older people off, and we had Austin go into the sawdust bag, and we're all excited. Yes, we got the idol, and it's an apple and an orange. So,
provide sustenance for it.
Big old survivor oof right off the bat. Yeah, that was, oh God. I felt like an Australian survivor when they're at that reward challenge and they find the shaving clippers and everybody's freaking out. They think they got an idol and they open it. And,
yeah, that's not what you think.
Not what I wanted. Yeah, but other than that, everything's good. I think, so I've talked with Austin pretty one-on-one, and me and him feel really good about each other. We're kind of locking it down like a, you know, we're each other's guys sort of thing. I hope he feels the same because I really like him. The only problem is that I saw him in the shelter last night, like almost the whole night talking with Rachel. And so this morning, I ran off to the bathroom with Rachel and Bobby, and Bobby said, "Do you guys want to lock this down?" So right away I said we should bring Austin in.
Okay.
And my plan is, if they bring...
Were they on board with that?
Yeah, they were. And then Bobby brought up bringing David in because they were next to each other. So I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, Austin and Rachel slept next to each other, they talked all night. Bobby and David slept next to each other, didn't sleep a word. They were gelling, as you would say. And I was kind of just asleep on the outer ends, you know, which is fine, but while I'm positioning myself in this, I do have to be aware. I think I want to take Austin and Rachel and really drive it into their heads that the big threat out of this 5 is going to be David and Bobby. Eventually, when it comes down to it, those 2, because they're tight. You can just tell they're on the same wavelength. When it gets to that time, when we have to break, I'm hoping that one of those 2 will go, then the next one will go. And then from there, I can start to sort of coerce Austin into going back into our original 1 and 2. So out of the 5, I do feel like I have it pretty boiled down, but Survivor, so nobody knows what's going on. I honestly, it's a lot of paranoia. It's a lot of uncertainty. I don't want to say or do anything too prominent because I don't know when we're going to swap. I don't know when we're going to start voting. You know, I had never even seen this production aside from like one intro video. So I've only seen Survivor. I found out about this through Reddit because I love Reddit, and I think I tried to apply when I was like a year ago and I was just too lazy to make a tape. I was like, oh, I'll just try for the real one. And then this past year I just sat down and made like a 3-minute video, like a few cuts, and sent it in, and a month later. Yeah, so right off the bat, when I saw the brown tribe, I don't know their names, but when I saw the brown tribe.
Kind of reddish brown?
Yeah, okay. Upon?
Yeah, Upon.
Okay, Upon. Right away, I recognized the Survivor casting call guy. The guy who goes to every single one. I saw him like 2 weeks in Michigan before we played, had a full-blown conversation with him, and now thinking about it, it's so weird. Because if either of us had brought that up, it would have been really strange. But yeah, wow, it's just like super crazy that he's here, because I know how invested he is. I don't know him personally at all, but from online, from, you know, walking by him in line, and, oh, that's the guy, that's the guy. First thing that I saw of him do, you know, calling his other 4 tribe mates out, you know, right off the bat, it's scary. I don't like that guy. I really do not like that guy. It reminds me of Russell.
Okay.
Like I haven't even seen him play, but just his demeanor, how invested he is in the actual show, for him to be out here, like, he has to be playing no games. So yeah, that is definitely somebody on the other tribe that I would look out for. On the blue tribe, I noticed there's a lot more people my age.
Okay.
I think it was the blue one. It could have been the red one, but I saw like a younger girl and a younger guy that looked more my age. So in a swap, I can potentially see that working out in my favor. But yeah, for right now, I'm just same game plan. I'm playing a little stupid. I want these people, you know, laugh at my, you know, offsetting comments a little bit, you know, say something goofy and whatever. I want them to really write me off as somebody who's not making the plans right now. I'm excited for anything in the water.
Okay.
Yeah, I do like the water challenges. Naturally, I'm just like a little afraid of running. I'm good with sprints. I'm not good with long distance just because of my asthma. But yeah, I do feel pretty confident when it comes to the water challenges. Yeah, so I mean, if it was like a basketball sort of thing, like the pond that we saw yesterday, I think our tribe will be good. We have 2 people who played basketball.
Okay.
We got a couple really strong swimmers, so I'm hoping that we can get a little wet and hopefully win some more food. That'd be nice. Yeah.
Oh man, I thought the evening was going to be brutal as far as I'm an insomniac, and so I didn't think I was going to get any sleep, which I didn't get a lot, but I just enjoyed myself and said, here I'm looking at the stars. Pretty good as far as the sleeping goes. The campfire time, I was surprised that everybody went to bed like at 9:30, 10 o'clock. It just started getting dark, and I was like, okay, they're all going to bed, and I'm going to sit here at the campfire for the next couple hours. So that's what I did. I don't think people were teaming up. I think it really was that we had the blessing of having one big tarp, one tarp over, and then everybody just kind of went in a big line. I was on the end, which ended up being great because allowed me to be able to roll over more where everybody else said they were kind of pretty hot. So I think I might have done better than others. But I feel like most people, well, I clicked with Bobby right off the get-go and David. Feel good about both of them, and really enjoy Brendan. You know, he's our young guy, he's our 19-year-old, and he just spouts out all kinds of stuff, so he's a kind of a funny guy to chat with. I really feel like everybody's clicking pretty well. And I actually, but I feel like Brandon's going to be smart, and I feel like David's casual, and I think both those are good people to align with.
Okay.
For me. Well, I want to win some reward challenges, want to just win some challenges. My hope for today, I mean, I'm sure every team thinks this, but man, you know, it'd be nice to stick together. It was awesome winning yesterday, our first challenge, and winning it pretty decisively. So we kind of are hoping, but it could be cocky, but we're kind of hoping that we're going to be able to do that throughout the challenges and be able to take at least some wins, which would be a great experience. No, I didn't recognize anybody. One of our tribe mates recognized somebody who goes to all these casting calls who was in the Purple Tribe, and but we all actually kicked ourselves that we didn't really look around enough to size up everybody else. But
Oh.
Well, it's early. No, I mean, the first thing is when I signed up or sent into casting, there's always in the back of your mind, what are the odds that you're going to make it, you know, and whatever. And so it wasn't until, and I'm not a worrier, so I don't really think about stuff until after. And then all of a sudden I got casted, and I was like, oh dang, what am I getting myself into? I mean, this is, you know, 1,000 miles away. I'm going to be out in the middle of nowhere. When was the last time I did something like this? But I feel really good. You know, I'm in good shape. I feel good. So that was the only thing, is I was like, honestly, I thought if I can make it through the first night, because not being able to sleep would bother me, and I felt good.
Surprisingly, a lot of the people on the tribe that are younger all went to bed really early, which was surprising. It was us older people that were like wide awake, don't know what to do, feel like we'll just stay up a bit. And then people kind of gravitated around. I was expecting to stay up, like I want to be the last one to sleep. I expect people to kind of group off and have conversations, and none of that was going on at all. People, we mostly just moved around a lot, lots of traffic noise. Right, myself and Bruce.
Okay.
So-
What did you guys talk about?
Nothing. at all, which makes me
Nothing
very,
substantive,
and no, nothing, which made me nervous. So we all lay down, and I was like in the middle, but toward the end, and we kind of divided between people that were single and people that weren't. So that way we felt like it was
I
good.
get what you're putting down.
It was a good division, and so we all like lay down, and then Bruce got up and he was messing with the fire, and I could tell it was kind of irritating people a bit.
Was he making noises?
Yeah, and walking around. I think people definitely were mumbling today. They think he was looking for an idol. So it was pitch black outside of the fire, so good for him if he was able to find something. But I went and sat next to him on the crate that we had, thinking, hey, everyone's going to sleep, let's talk. But he didn't talk, and I wasn't going to be the first one to speak. And so I kind of waited around and thought maybe I wasn't the right person he was waiting to come sit next to. And then I went and laid back down, and the two people on either side of me, we talked a little bit. And then this morning we got up pretty early, and a couple of us that got up early were talking. So Jen and I went on a bathroom walk, and we definitely talked about it. Since she's been here before, she kind of, I'm looking to her for a little guidance on what to maybe look for, but I don't want to put a target on myself, so I'm not going on. My only thought I had in the middle of the night was the water bucket. I wonder if anyone's lifted the lid or checked under the bucket. And so as soon as I could this morning, I like lifted the bucket and looked under it, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna I'm not going to go any further. Some people have gone really far looking for wood, allegedly. We know that there was another tribe nearby us, and we heard them cheering at some point, and we thought, we've got 2 tarps and a fire, why are they cheering? So unless like Domino's delivered, it must be that they found something, and maybe it was something we could have found, or maybe it's something that's still out there. I don't know, but they seemed really happy, and they were up late. We could hear. Now I feel like I've really connected with Brendan. He was in the car ride with us coming out here. He's only about a year older than my son. So I'm trying not to be mom at all, and he doesn't, he's very mature and everything, but and then in the sleeping situation in the shelter, he was right next to me, and so we talked a little bit. So definitely him. I had Bob on the other side, and we talked a little bit, but I'd say yesterday David was, and now I know he's Bob and Peggy's son, so he was incredibly instrumental in a lot of our success yesterday, and I felt like I was very frenetic yesterday. I was so excited to be here, and it was I can't believe I'm really here and this is happening, and I was really scared of messing up the challenge, and he really was great at being like, okay, we're going to take the board, all right, we're going to calm, okay, and just really slow down and talk to me through it all, and we won. So so right now I'd say it's really been those 3. Like I'd say, even though I've talked to Bruce, I don't feel like we're connecting. Hopefully I'm not the outlier in the group. I don't think that Rachel and I have really connected at all either. We were in the car together. Yeah, she's mostly been with Austin, and mostly, I guess, kind of back and forth between a few people, but like Austin and Bob.
Okay.
But I don't know, we just haven't really had a conversation at all, and we sat next to each other in the car ride over here, but we just haven't, like, I'm trying to find something to connect, and I better find it soon. Yeah, so when we came out into the challenge yesterday and we got to see the other 2 tribes finally, I immediately was looking for any familiar face that I could find. And I found one. I don't remember the tribe names. Well, I know there's Kia, and I know there's not Kia. So on not Kia was...
Upon.
Huh?
Upon.
Upon. Like Groupon. And we're Zica, like the virus. We're going to kill it.
Kill everybody, yeah.
Yeah, kill the competition, Zica. So I know Donna. She taught me how to do an instant insanity puzzle, so I feel like I owe her. I didn't know she was playing, so that was a pleasant surprise. If there is anyone else out here that's from the RHAP, Rob Has a Podcast community, I don't recognize them at first glance. Of course, my first glance doesn't go too far, so I didn't recognize anyone on the other tribe, but our tribe members were discussing that there was a bit of a tantrum on one of the tribes that happened yesterday out in the challenge, and I didn't even catch it. The tribe that was to our right, the one that, not Donna, so I think it's Kia.
Kia, okay.
There's a man on there that had a Gilligan hat, and they said that he was really irritated and talking about how the other half of his tribe was late, and that's why things didn't work out however they wanted it to work out. And he was very defensive. And I didn't witness this, but like other people, which makes me feel, maybe I should have been more observational, but I was just trying to take it all in. Just not the right parts, I guess. But several of my tribe members noticed this going on and made a note of it. So
Like what
I imagine there's going to be 6 to 8 challenges, and that we're going to get wet and dirty and tired. We did find food this morning, so that was something.
What'd you find?
Berries.
Okay.
So we'll either all be dead soon, or have gastrointestinal distress, or we will we'll have a little bit of nutrition in us. We each had, we even put some berries on, made a little bit of a basket out of some wood and put water and cooked them. We had cooked berries. How about that for Survivor first day? Not bad.
Well, what hasn't happened is sleep. I literally have, I don't think I slept 1 second last night. And to be honest, I didn't hate it. I kind of felt like that's a Survivor experience. I was packed. Okay, let me back up. So last night, part of my strategy was sleep dynamics and who's sleeping where. I want to keep an eye on that, and I want to be right in the middle. And lo and behold, that's where I was. I was right in the middle.
Okay.
That was great for about the first 5 minutes until everyone started going to bed and snoring, and we were on a slope, and I was just packed like a sardine.
Who's a big snorer?
The 3 single people on our tribe, they were kind of calling themselves the singles.
Okay.
It's Austin, Rachel, and Jen. And I don't know if it's being single helps you fall asleep easier versus the rest of us that are coupled up. I'm not used to sleeping with 7 other people, but
I hope not.
yeah, not usually. And I love kind of seeing like who sort of jockeyed for what position and where people are sleeping. But about probably an hour into the night, I was realizing I'd made a horrible mistake. I should have taken the outside because I couldn't stretch. I was literally like wedged in, sweating my butt off, and I didn't want to wake people up too. They were kind of sleeping soundly, and I kind of wanted to respect that. So, I couldn't feel my hip half the time because I was laying on a rock, and Jen kept getting up the entire night, like kind of moving around.
What was she doing? Just squirming or?
Squirming, scratching, talking in her sleep, kind of like making like kind of achy moaning noises. And a few times a couple of us asked, "Are you okay? Like, are you doing all right?" And I can see actually how, when you're playing a game like this, that decisions happen in the middle of the night because you're just kind of, tired of somebody kind of rolling around a lot or moving around. It's like, how many nights do I want to, sacrifice my sleep for this sort of situation? What I'm going to do tonight, I don't know if we'll be in the same tribe, but I'm going to definitely try to take the outside spot so I can kind of spread out a little bit more. Yeah. So the first season, when John Batea and my dad and you guys were talking about doing this, I was living in California, and I thought, do I want to fly home for is this something that it's worth using my vacation time from work, which I don't get too many days. And almost immediately when I started seeing the videos that were getting posted during the event, I was like, oh my God, I'm there next year. I just want to, go and be around it and be a part of it. So for the next 4 seasons in Maine, I was there. Last year I didn't come to this, and I love that I wasn't here because this is all new to me. If I had been part of production here last year, I would know where I am. I would know where the camps. I don't know where anything is. This is all new, and that's why I wanted to come here. Versus, I never wanted to play in Maine. I knew, I knew where everything was. I knew the property. The excitement wouldn't have been the same level as somebody that had never been to that property. So I bring that with me here. So when I met with Andy last night for Confessionals, so when I did Confessionals last night, it hadn't come up yet. It wasn't really like a natural kind of flow for it to I didn't want to just kind of like offer it up, but I also didn't want to hide from it either. And a few times yesterday, people mentioned, oh, there's Bob, or there, or they said something at one point like it'd be cool if like somebody's son played or something, somebody from the show's kid played, and I'm literally standing right there, and I'm like, oh, I'm literally I was trying to tell them, and then all of a sudden it's like, all right, Survivor's ready, and or something would happen. I couldn't really get it, and I couldn't get it in. And it's also with 7 other people. It's not there's so much dialogue, there's a lot going on, so it's like, hey everyone, I have an announcement. So I told them last night when they asked, like, how they're kind of going around, how do you hear about this, and I told them, and there's a few things I anticipated. One would be like, oh, that's really cool, that you're connected to this, and connected to Bob, but I also wanted kind of dance delicately with it, because I don't want them to feel I have an unfair advantage. It came up at one point last night. We're all kind of laying down, and Christine said, hey, so did your dad give you any tips from production on what they're doing this year? And I kind of made it real clear, like, Bob wasn't involved in any of the production this year. I don't want them feeling I have an unfair advantage, and I don't. Like, I don't know what's going on at all here. I wouldn't know, but some of these guys wouldn't know that either. So I'm trying to make it clear. I don't know if they believe me or not. Okay. Anything can become a target, right? So anything can be spun as a target. Also, there's a lot of things that can be perceived as assets, or perceived as a target. So I was ready for that. I already knew coming into this that it wasn't worth me trying to hide this. There's going to be somebody here that I'm playing the game with that's going to know. Austin, I'm assuming knows. Like, Austin and I have met before, and then I recognize, when I showed up to town yesterday, I saw Donna, and I said hi to. I didn't know she was playing, but I saw her. So I said hi to her. I know William on the other tribe who's been. So there's a few people, and I knew that was going to happen. I knew even if it was one person, it was going to blow up my whole, like, if I had a secret sort of thing. And I didn't feel like there was a need for it, and I wanted to sort of be myself, and then leverage it as much as I can to get myself as far as I can. Yeah, first impressions change as you kind of get to know people more. Some people I kind of like more, and some people I feel like maybe I shouldn't pair up quite as much with. I do like I like Christine on this team. I feel like she's someone that would just be thrilled to go far in the game. She doesn't necessarily feel like she probably needs to win, but she'd like to go far. I'm the type of guy that I would love to bring someone far, and even I want to win, but if I couldn't win, to see someone like her it would probably change their life, I'd be happy to see it happen. So I think I'd be willing to work with any of them. I'd be willing to work with anyone on the tribe. I think I could work with them. Rachel makes me a little nervous. She kind of has, she has a very kind of strategic eye, look to her. She's always kind of looking, and like at one point yesterday, I walked off and I was getting firewood, and of course I was looking for idols too, just looking around, but I was also getting wood. And when I came back, she kind of, looked at me to see if I had anything in my pockets, and that makes me nervous. I almost felt like I had to explain, like, look, I don't have anything on me. And we just did a big kind of group idol hunt that I sort of initiated because I wanted them to feel like I don't have an idol. I wish I did, but I don't. So I want to kind of get that a little. I felt like there's a little bit of a monkey on my back that I didn't want.
Find anything?
No, it was Brendan thought he found it, and it was just a piece of trash. But there was probably about a 5-second moment where he thought he had found it and he was on top of the world. And then I said, bro, that's a piece of trash. And you could see him going, shoot, I went from finding an idol to a piece of crap in the river.
Good morning. It's sour grass and berries that have been heated with a little water on them and over the fire. This is the bowl that we used to heat them up, and we put water on it, and it's pretty good. Yes, we've done really well. I'm very, very surprised. Okay, well, my last confessional, I was weary of Rachel probably.
Okay.
But now she's a really good snuggle buddy.
Okay.
So I'm all about her. Who am I not clicking with? I may have clicked with everyone, but I would say the person that, what's his name? Steve? Steve.
No.
No.
Other people, you've got 3 B people and a D and an A. Long hair, short
Bill?
hair. There's a Bobby, a Brendan, a Bruce.
No, the bald one.
Bruce?
Is that Bruce?
I believe he's the bald one.
Well, anyway, that guy.
Okay.
He's real shifty because he's always getting lost and always like coming, like he'll come over and be like, oh, so we have 2 brown bags. Where we get these 2 brown? I was like, dude, we just found the apple and the orange in that bag. Like, no one's, he's paranoid, I think. Right, we got the bag from yesterday. It was a bag of sawdust, and whenever we've been putting it on the fire and stuff through the night and stuff, and we just now found an apple and an orange, and got really excited about that. And we heard the other tribe like yelling at the night, so we assumed, we thought it was lightning or something, and we just heard noises, but maybe they had one too. I mean, like, we're learning.
Okay.
The biggest, what's the difference? Okay, well, the difference is I'm mentally ready
Okay.
to do this, whereas last year I obviously was not. I would say I was more physically ready, but I don't even think I was ready to do it. You know, I just had so much going on.
Okay.
And I'm in just such a better, more peaceful place right now, and I feel like I can focus, and I've learned a lot between now and then, and I know who I am, so that's the difference. I know who I am. It's working for me.
Awesome.
Well, I thought this one girl was an actress, but she's not, apparently, because everyone else is like, no. So,
Okay.
I thought that she was on, I thought she played on this show before.
Like our stuff, our show, or
No, like the Survivor show.
all Survivor itself?
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay.
She looks like the girl, I don't know. I'm bad with names. Obviously, since I can't even, I made up 3 so far.
You've done.
I don't have any. I actually, the shooting from last year was just miserable. Like, it was awful. So I practiced a lot. I still don't want to shoot. I don't even want to like try it, but I can make it in the goal now.
Okay, that's good.
It's a plus. Hand-eye coordination just, I guess, isn't my thing, but I would like to do like the puzzle part or running. Both of those are fine for me.
Okay.
Knots or something. I don't know. As a whole?
Yeah, as
Because I plan on going to the end, so I was like,
to the end,
one
right?
of them I'll take with me. No.
How long are these Zica people going to be with you?
I feel like by tonight we'll be doing something different.
Okay.
Maybe, who knows? We set a thing on our fire where everyone can sit, like around the logs and stuff. And then we pulled down some trees. We have a whole thing of wood. So are we gonna lose all that? I say, yes. So when we switched, that didn't bother me so bad. It didn't bother me so bad to switch last year when they had 2 people come out and go, because people had already talked scenarios. What if this happened? Then let's do this, you know? So I knew where the iffiness was in that one, but I feel like we've got such a good chemistry as a whole, really, and we work so well together. We all just are on the same page and get along for the most part, and so I just would hate to leave it.
Okay.
I just don't see anybody clicking like that. It's pretty rare, probably.
Oh, be careful.
All right, so at night I slept next to Austin and Jen, and I basically slept on Austin all night, so hopefully that was some bonding. And Jen mostly slept on me all night.
Is that some bonding?
So, yeah, that was some bonding too. And then the other ones just kind of spooned each other, and we're falling down a hill. so the three of us kind of had more room than everyone else by accident. Yeah, what's his name? Bob? Nope, not Bob. I got this.
Okay.
Bruce. Bruce was kind of in the bushes, and he likes to voice his opinion, so that was a problem, but we'll move him next time. So he was manning the fire. I think he was just awake because it's hard to sleep, but he was helping the fire and stuff, which is good. Bob said he might have seen him like open a thing like this, which would be like an idol clue. Bob's kind of paranoid in general though, so not sure I believe it. And we just found an apple and an orange in the bag, which was kind of cool because what's his face? Brendan and Bob came to me and told me that they thought the idol was in the bag, which shows a lot of trust. And then they told Austin too. So the four of us kind of worked together to get the bag out of the sawdust and figure out what it was. Austin is the one that actually got the bag, so there might have been a clue within the fruit. I don't think there is, but there's always that possibility. But it was good that like they came to me and they trusted me, so that was good. Hopefully that could be a good group. I think they want to bring David into that group too, which I'm down for. And then on the side, Jen has been pointing out to me areas that she thinks the idol might be. So she trusts me, which is good. So I think I'm gonna.
Or you laid on her?
Of course, she laid on me.
She laid on you.
Yeah, like with an arm and everything. It was tight. But yeah, I think I'm in a good position right now. Outliers are probably Christine and Jen and Bruce.
Okay.
Mostly Bruce, but I don't really know why. That group of guys just kind of came to me. I think we just like clicked the most. And I'm definitely noting that there's 5 guys and 3 girls, so I'm not trying to like be a girl thing because that just doesn't work with numbers. So yeah, I don't really know how the girls kind of got outcasted, but Bruce is just kind of outspoken and has some ways he likes to do things, so that's probably what happened to him. No, that concerns me that you say that people have gotten glances at the other tribes, because I definitely haven't talked to anyone.
Well, I
don't even know if that's legal.
Well,
I haven't.
You can like see who they are.
But can we like talk to them at the porta potties? Well, my eyes are open now.
Okay.
But no, I haven't talked to anybody besides me and Sam winking at each other the first day. Sam Lechner, because she went to Ohio State with me, and we were in the same scholars program. So we that scholars program was kind of like a group, and you know everyone in the program. And then she's actually the one who got me involved at Ohio State Survivor, which Greg, our lovely cameraman over there, started. So
I'm trying to work at college.
We're tight.
In Wilmington.
Judging by the way it looked like yesterday, there's probably some shooting basketball type thing in the water. I think I'll be pretty good at that. Played basketball most of my life. But the swimming part is I'm less good at. I'm not going to drown, but I'm not going to be the fastest.
Okay. Please don't drown.
I won't. Yeah. And the puzzles, I feel like I'm mediocre. So I don't think people will be like, you suck, we need to get rid of you. But I'm not going to be like a huge threat in that way, I don't think. But I could surprise myself.